I've been asked by a few accounts here to give this ticker a quick look, and that I shall do. There are a couple of things suggesting a continuation to the downside as some bearish formations printed and validated on Friday. In this case, let's go over momentum to identify a potential support coming up. Welcome back to the channel on this happy Sunday. This is ARCa. Let's dive into ticker symbol ALPP. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into ticker symbol ALPP, and you can see that this is that ticker right there, right? Let me just go ahead. Oh my goodness, what the heck is going on right here, man? When you charge your phone, all kinds of funny things happen to your phone, especially when you're running a live stream setup and all kinds of weird things. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing now and see what is good, right? So definitely lots of trading history here, coming back, dating back all the way to 2017, which is something that I can use to identify potential supports, right? And the reason why I'm trying to identify a potential support coming up is simply because of this, right? So let me just go ahead and pop the charts open here, zoom in all the way so that us blind people can see, right? Let me know in the chat, right? Let me know in the comments if you're blind just like me. We got some glasses. All right, so anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing right here, right? This is a bearish engulfing candle formation, and that is actually representative of a downside coming up. The thing is here is that it does have a validation candle too, right? So this candle here literally not giving back anything from which it has lost. It's at a support, which is the previous bar low, but not, I don't think that this is the greatest. In fact, it's not the greatest support in the world, right? So it doesn't have anything else to latch onto other than the prior bar. So this is one of the reasons why I would have to say that we should probably look at a continuation to the downside here to find an actual tangible support, one that can hold price action a little better than the one that we're currently on. Okay, so I'm already identifying, so I'm going to start from the lower ones first, right? So I'm identifying one right over here, right, that is consistent of the targets, $95.09 to $96.96. Wow. So please remember that usually when assets like these tend to break outside of the dollar mark, short bias day traders like these games here because they often try to push these below $1, which pushes fear into the markets, and stop losses get hit, and the chain reaction continues onwards and downwards in this case, right? So now to observe another support on the downside here, I guess the shallowest support that I would be able to kind of mark off here would be obviously the dollar mark, and it would be the bottom side of that singular candle down there, right? The one that's at about 97.98. So these two supports over here are already kind of within my scope. Now, if there is any further downside to go, then that would possibly be looked at using momentum, right? So just the thing is here is that it is building kind of a bullish formation in the I guess we can look at this either on the daily or the bi-daily, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and point it out to you anyway. I don't like this formation to be sorry about that, to be completely frank. It's just the thing is that it has a popular belief, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. So we would have to actually run a back test of this asset respecting this formation in the first place, right? So what you're observing here is actually what's called an inverse head and shoulders, right? So you got two shoulders here with a head right down here, and that is a bullish formation, and it usually suggests reversal, right? So if that is the case, then let's go ahead and speculate some targets here, because it does have a psychological price objective, right? So we can take a trend line here just like this. It is actually connecting not bad at all, and so yeah, that would be the neckline there, and then we could actually take a trend line from the center of the head all the way to the top side of the neckline, right? And that would be taken right down here, and then we would apply this trend line here to the top side of the right hand shoulder. So if this thing were to break out, then sure, I guess, or if it were to succeed it, then this would be suggesting a top side of around $2.57. Now, $2.57 is a very, very, very reminiscent sound because of this candle high. if you can actually take a look right up here on the OHLC, the H is going to display to you $2.59. So it's pretty damn close to that potential high, and very curious since it is the high faced all the way here. So let's just go ahead and put down a trend line there so that you can see just how relevant that resistance is. Right? All these candles here using as support, resistance, very, very relevant. So that marks off an inflection point. Okay, so if it is going to suggest it, great. If it's going to do it, awesome. Not if will it do it? I don't know. I have no idea. There's no way I can suggest that, right? But if we use some geometrics here, then that can give us a little bit of an idea over what targets to expect as well, right? So if we were to make it all the way up there to $2.57, then we have at $2.39 a very important Fibonacci retracement ratio, right? And that would be the 2.618 at $2.39. And that is right over here, the 618 target, right? It's the golden ratio, or one of the many 618s. Okay, so yeah, that's rhyming pretty nicely, right? So now I guess we would have to just kind of observe the probabilities of that happening, right? So let's go ahead and just dive into the 30-minute time frame and pull up, not in the price action, right? So in fact, we'll just leave price action here on auto so that it can follow us as we go, right? So we're going to observe here momentum. Just a sec. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. So 30-minute time frame suggesting a downside here. MACD also suggesting a downside. Stochastic momentum also, right? Let's go ahead and jump into the hourly time frame. That looks to be a little corrective on the stochastic momentum, but this may be a delayed reaction to what actually is happening within here in the RSI, right? The RSI signal represented by that teal line, SMA 14 represented by the pink line, resistance right at it, and downside continuation. In fact, approaching the gravitational zone of the bear weakness percentile could suggest a continuation to the downside here, or of higher probability. Now, jumping into the bi-hourly time frame, this is a little confusing, to tell you the honest truth, right? You see here this little pivot that jumped up, right? So what I'm going to show you here is actually pretty important, right? So let's just go ahead and take this into account. Your gravitational zones, right, within the RSI are 2% up of any border and 2% down of any border, right? So in this case, yeah, you would have 48% down and 50 and 52% up, seeing that the center is 50. Right? So please notice here that you got a clean bounce from that gravitational zone and a clean rejection from the gravitational zone opposition. So, and we're at that same area again. So this is actually suggesting a little bit of a chop here. It could be stuck until the SMA 14 makes its way all the way down to face an actual resistance with the gravitational zone, and then bam, things go down. That's only one way of looking at it, seeing that the SMA 14 is pivoted on a pretty aggressive down slope, just like this, right? And price action ended up capitulating there. So I just wanted to display to you that, right? So if you are curious, gravitational zones exist on every pivotal point of the RSI, right? So if every one of these, right? Just like this is kind of what you're observing here as gravitational areas. And of course, you still have, sorry about that, team. Damn. Okay, so yeah, you can observe. You can observe those all the way over there. So nice. Bless you. So let me go ahead and come back here to the charts and not be distracted anymore, right? So 4-hour time frame is also suggesting a downside continuation. And in fact, this one on the RSI is in fact in the gravitational zone now and suggesting a continuation to that downside even still, right? So let's jump into the 8-hour time frame and see what's going on there. So 8-hour time frame on the MACD at least looks like it's preparing itself to create a bearish crossover, downside pivots on stochastic momentum, and nothing to suggest on the RSI. So that actually makes me feel like there could be a slower downside to observe here, which would then give higher validity to the targets of support that we spoke of in the earlier part of this video. Daily time frame RSI is pivoted towards the downside, and that looks like we're going to find a support there. Let me see the 12. Yep, it looks like it's going to be on the daily time frame. And does ALPP have after hours trading? In fact, it does. So yeah, the daily time frame may actually be finding support soonish. So the reason I can say that, or potentially suggest, or I'm sorry, or the only reason why I can see that or have momentum potentially suggest that is due to the fact that we have the SMA 14 located right down here, right? And you have your RSI signal suggesting a downside. So there may be a meeting ground here within the gravitational zone. So where the SMA 14 can finally make its way here, we'll get the RSI signal to find the bounce from not only this gravitational zone, but also the SMA 14 with an upside continuation. So that, again, the daily time frame gives those downside targets some validity as well. So now I have to tell you, though, that this is completely discretionary, right? So me identifying these potential downsides are just of what I'm observing here with my own bias, right? So the fact of the fact of the matter is that these may not meet they may not meet the momentum suggestion. So, and also the fact is that we do have this EMA 21 at around 92 cents, 91.78 on the daily time frame. So that's also a potential, right? But as you jump into the by daily time frame, which will be over in about 13 hours and 32 minutes, aka tomorrow at market close, you will notice that the EMA 21 is located right at our bottom side of 95.09, perfectly located right there, right? So that's another probability for us to look at. Right. So I just want you to be careful here. This is the 8-hour time frame EMA 21 coming up to the same support that we spoke of just about too. So 98, 97, 98. So yeah, we have the probabilities there. It's just at this point, it's just, are we going to be able to respect them or not or something? Right. So I guess we shall see. And this is just about as best as we can do for now, team. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, engage with the channel so that we can introduce some more bulls and bears to the channel so we can learn all together. Okay, team? So please do not take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as a form of financial advice. Do not take it as that, as I am not suggesting for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I do need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night, and I'll catch you at the bell mañana. Yeah.